The Jaci Russo joins us now in the 10th year.
Isn't that just the craziest?
In the 10th year.
Yes.
We're a 10-year-old kid.
Like a decade. Double digits.
What are you, like third grade now?
Yeah, we're almost ready to start seeing PG-13 movies.
All right.
Ooh.
Very close.
We're almost old enough for a Snapchat account.
Almost. According to the rules.
Right.
So, do you know Snapchat does this weird thing where it pairs up phone numbers in your phone?
Yep.
So you don't have to find someone. All of a sudden it just suggests people and it says, Jaci Russo is on Snapchat now. Okay. And so, randomly, someone I used to work with, it says they're on Snapchat. And I'm like, cool, I used to. And then, the entire day, it was nothing but like this 11-year-old girl like in the pool with her friends and everything. And I'm like, okay, this is really creepy because it says it's someone else.
Right.
It turns out it was an old number I had.
Yes.
And so it ties it in. And I can't tell you, that's happened to me several times. And you start seeing, because people post innocuous things on Snapchat, so it really could be anyone, till you start seeing selfies and you're like, that's not Sam.
No.
You know, like, that's not. So be careful with that.
Absolutely.
Because as a dad of young kids, number one, I want to find this 11-year-old's, I imagine, I'm guessing like 11-year-old, young, like not high school or anything.
Right.
I want to find their parent and be like,
why are they on
do
Snapchat?
you know your kid is on Snapchat?
Right.
But it's impossible to do. I guess theoretically I could call the number.
You could.
The wrong number that's in my phone. I could call it and ask to speak to your parents.
You could. You could direct message them.
And then whenever the parents come on, they say yes. I'm going to say, so I followed your 11, somehow or another, I was linked up with your 11-year-old girl on Facebook or on Snapchat, and she's doing things you don't want her to do. It just makes me feel awkward.
Well, that's because you're a dad of daughters.
I know. And I'm like, after things that I see in the society we live in,
right.
I mean, like moving to a deserted island where there is no technology seems more and more appealing every day.
See, I'm a fan of technology.
Yeah.
I just want it to be used well. And I think what we tend to forget is it takes just a little bit of extra effort to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
And I love one of the things you've been very open with us about, obviously over the course of 10 years, most of the social media that we use, number one, your kids weren't old enough to use it when they came out.
Correct.
And then more have come along. You've always been pretty outspoken, especially, well, you have one graduate now.
Yes, I do.
So you only have 3 real kids anymore.
Correct.
1 adult and 3 kids.
Yes.
Where you kind of say you don't need your phone to use as an alarm clock. Like, here's an alarm clock.
Right.
Let's charge your phone in one communal place.
I have these kind of 8 guidelines for parenting in the technology age, and that is number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
Is put your phone in a common living space, kitchen, den, my room, whatever.
Kind of like computers of my age.
Don't
put a computer in a bedroom.
Correct.
Put it in the dining room.
I still think that.
Yeah.
No laptops upstairs.
Wow.
Well, the bedrooms in our house are upstairs.
Yes.
So no laptops upstairs.
No reason why, but okay.
In a one-story house, I would mean in the attic. But the idea being you don't need access to that technology 24/7. I think that the number one rule is control the apps. So you need to have control of the password to iTunes or the Android marketplace, whatever that equivalent might be, and the password to the phone. Because when they dock the phone at night in the kitchen, you need to be checking it.
Yeah.
And, 13-year-olds don't have an inherent right to privacy. That's the way the world works.
And to those people who think it is an invasion of privacy, you need to protect your kids. It's really just protecting your kids.
So if you are going to drop your kid off in the middle of Times Square and leave them there for a week and not even ask, how was it? If that's the level of privacy that you have in your house, that's your parenting choice.
Yeah.
But if you think the idea of putting your 6th, 7th, 8th grader in Times Square on their own or in an apartment by themselves or even in Girard Park 24/7 solo, then yeah, sure, don't check them on the line. But if you're not that kind of parent, if you're a parent that wants to know what's going on with your kids, that wants to protect them from themselves and others out there, that wants to help guide them through their growth and upbringing, then you have to check their phones. How
do you feel about parents who think, obviously we know about bullying, we know about kids feeling isolated and what happens if they get that violent, thought in their head. A lot of times it's many years kind of built up. But for someone who says, look, all my kids' friends are on Facebook, all my kids' friends, and they're in 4th grade. You just need to be the adult.
You have to be the adult. It's not your job to be their friend. It's your job to be their parent. And so part of that means saying no.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of that means saying no, and saying no often.
Yes.
And saying no for the right reasons, not just because you want to be a jerk, but saying no because we thrive better when we have guidelines and restrictions and challenges to overcome. Being a friend with parents is not going to help a tween grow up properly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's not going to set the right expectations.
Not to mention, there are a lot of parents who know what kind of parent you are.
Right.
If you're the parent who leaves kind of things unattended, oh, they're at home, but as long as they're here, whatever happens, happens. There will be some of your kids' friends' parents who say, you're not going over there.
Right, absolutely.
We know how they are.
Absolutely. Well, and it starts at this age with letting them watch TV or movies that are not age recommended.
Yeah.
So when you're 11 and you're letting your kids watch rated R movies, then the next step is you're going to let them have access to social media too early because age doesn't matter to you. You're going to let them go see an R-rated movie when they're 11. You're going to let them get on Snapchat when they're 10. You're going to let them do things too early. Age restrictions are there for protection. Not to kill someone's buzz.
Yeah.
But then you're also going to be the parent that's going to let them drink too early.
Yep.
It sets up an avalanche of you're not going to make them follow the law when it comes to curfews and driving.
And that's a legal thing. So,
they're all legal things.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're very right. We didn't even plan to talk about this, but it occurs to me, like during the summertime, I see a lot of people who I know who have kids. The best kids that I know are the ones who stay occupied.
Oh, absolutely.
During the summer.
Chores. Start there.
It's a big part of it.
Because you need to have responsibilities. There needs to be you need to learn how to care for yourself and your belongings in your house.
Yeah.
So chores are important. It's responsibility. And then also, I find a lot of parents just let their kids be all summer long. Let them rest their minds. Well, then you turn to mush. Mm-hmm. So there needs to be a little math workbook in your future. There needs to be some summer reading. There needs to be some things to occupy your brain so it's not just 15 straight hours on Netflix watching things that aren't age appropriate.
Yeah. Back to that. Wow.
And look, I'm not the most perfect parent in the world.
No.
We have plenty of challenges at my house from a parenting and child raising perspective. But I know that following the rules, being a rule follower is just one of those top things that you need to do as a parent because then your kids become better contributing members of society.
I've heard people, especially when it comes to like dress code and things like that,
oh, don't even.
Where parents will actually get on the complain train, like I like to call it, put that in the KPEL dictionary.
I like it.
The complain train about, well, I mean, she was wearing shorts, but her shirt was too long. You know?
Right.
The whole point of school, in my opinion, is not to question the fact that there are rules. It's the fact that it's just to teach you how to
follow the rules. Yeah, I had a conversation with a parent a couple of weeks ago. It was a bullying situation.
Yeah.
And so I, finally after months broke down and called the mom. I didn't want to do it, but I had to. And the mom made a comment. I was not talking about what the child was wearing. It's not my business.
Yep.
The mom made a comment about her own children's clothing. And so after she was complaining on and on and on about how inappropriate her child dresses and the inappropriate pictures she posts of herself wearing these inappropriate clothes, I said, aren't you the one who's buying the clothes for her?
Yeah.
And she said, well, yeah, but I'm like, well, hold on.
Well, yeah.
If you don't want her to wear it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
And I realized the conversation wasn't going anywhere.
So then you just said, see you later. All
yeah,
right,
we're not going to make any progress here.
Okay, what's on the official blog today?
The official blog is 4 ways to differentiate your brand online.
Okay, 4 ways to differentiate your brand
online. And it's actually really good information. You should check it out.
We will put it up on our website, kpel965.com. Also, don't forget about the podcast.
Oh, yeah, the podcast.
People very excited about that.
Thousands. I mean, we are at thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers and downloads. It really puts a lot of pressure on me when I record them because I'm thinking, there's a lot of people who are about to be listening to this. I should, not suck.
So from 2 people that talk to the universe every single day.
Exactly.
Because you can listen to KPEL on the app anywhere you have Wi-Fi.
Well, and I get it. There's like 50,000 people listening to y'all. I'm not at that level.
Even on the space station, okay? However, the best happens when you don't take that into account.
Sure.
Because, sometimes people come in or they'll sit down and they'll hang out with us in the studio and they'll be like, we didn't know what it was going to be like, off the air. And like the sad part is that the commercials happen, but it's just so boring. I can like run to the bathroom or drink some water.
Right.
But it's the exact same. We just enjoy each other. So
that is true. It's fun to be here.
You enjoy what you're talking about. You're great talking about branding and different things. So
Thanks.
Continue with that.
I think that's why it's a hit, man.
Hey, make sure
it makes it fun.
If you listen to the podcast, which by the way, this is not a weekly 1 hour podcast.
Right.
Correct.
It's a quickie. It's what, about
10 minutes. Yes.
Yes, you get everything you need to know about different things. I have had a ton of people starting new businesses that I've turned them on to it to just say, you know what, when you're riding in the car between appointments, maybe you just need that someone else to touch your shoulder and say, not in a weird Me Too way,
right.
but just touch your arm and say,
encouraging way.
It's going to be okay. You're going to make the sale.
You just keep touching me the whole time. It just starts to get weird after a while.
It was odd. Sorry. Jackie, we love you. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks.
Bring your parenting tips anytime.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Because you know what? We need more of that.
It's a reality maybe too for some people. It ain't easy being a parent.
It's really not.
And you're never going to be the perfect parent, but you're going to be perfect for your own kid. So
that's the plan.
Work for that.